When scientists first began recording species, they had to draw them. Old biology sketches are honestly some of my favorite things that exist, mostly because they were often hilariously strange. In the early 1800s, the camera was invented, and animal documentation changed forever. Over the past 200 years, countless photos have been taken of animals that are no longer with us today. In this video, we're going to take a look at some of those images and hear the tragic stories behind these lost species. Welcome to KM Extinct. On this channel, I try to bring you nature content that's both educational and entertaining. If you enjoy this kind of material, please consider liking the video, leaving a comment, or even subscribing to the channel. I should mention that I'm using an AI voice for narration. I hope it doesn't take away from your viewing experience. Wallaby tulache. The tulache wallaby stood just under a meter tall and lived on the grasslands of southeastern Australia. This graceful species, known for its beautifully patterned coat, was first described in 1846. But tragically, as humans expanded rapidly into its habitat, the population collapsed by the 1920s. An effort to save the species gathered the last 14 known individuals. Sadly, 10 of them died during capture, leaving only 4 that made it into a zoo. The tulache wallaby was last officially seen in the wild in 1924, and that very same year, the final captive animal, FER, a solitary female, also died. This haunting image is the last known photograph of the tulache wallaby. The quagga. The quagga was a subspecies of the plain zebra, and it was unlike any other. Its markings were unique. Only the front half of its body carried stripes, while the rest was a soft brown with a white belly and white legs. The quagga lived only in the southernmost regions of Africa, preferring grasslands and arid scrublands. Dutch and British settlers hunted them relentlessly, believing the animals were more abundant than they really were. This is one of the last photographs ever taken of a quagga, captured at the Amsterdam Zoo. When the final captive individual, a female, died in 1883, the zoo simply requested that another specimen be caught. What they didn't realize was that the last wild quaggas had already vanished about 5 years earlier. With her death, the quagga was gone forever. Today, however, scientists are working on breeding projects in an effort to bring the quagga back. The passenger pigeon. The passenger pigeon was once the most numerous bird species on the entire planet, but within only a few decades, it was gone forever. European settlers cleared the forests of North America and hunted the pigeons on a massive scale, leaving the species with no chance of survival. This is Martha, the very last passenger pigeon, photographed in 1914. When Martha died, the species disappeared forever. The Carolina parakeet. The Carolina parakeet, IM, the only parrot species native to the United States, has also gone extinct. These birds once gathered in massive flocks, numbering in the millions. They fed on fruits and seeds, especially the toxic seeds of the cocklebur plant. Because of this diet, the parakeets themselves became poisonous, and predators such as bobcats often died after eating them. But when European settlers arrived and destroyed the forests of the eastern United States, the population of Carolina parakeets gradually shrank until they were confined mostly to Florida. They were hunted for their feathers and captured for the pet trade. Yet the exact cause of their extinction remains a mystery to this day. The very last captive individual died in 1918, only 4 years after Martha, the final passenger pigeon. The paradise parrot. The paradise parrot of eastern Australia was a strikingly beautiful bird. It lived in pairs or in small family groups and made its nests inside termite mounds. But after a severe drought in 1902, their numbers were almost completely wiped out. This photograph, taken in 1922, shows a bird entering its nest, 2020, and it is the last known image of the species in the wild. By 1927, the paradise parrot had vanished forever. The Barbary lion. The Barbary lion, DD, a subspecies once found in North Africa, was famous since ancient times. These were the lions that appeared in Roman arenas, inspired Egyptian mythology, and were even mentioned in the Bible. They were slaughtered relentlessly by humans, who both feared them and saw killing one as a symbol of strength and bravery. By the 20th century, with the widespread use of firearms, the Barbary lion had vanished from the wild. The last known individual was shot in the 1960s. However, new genetic research has revealed that the Barbary lion is not truly extinct. Instead, It represents one branch of a larger lion population that once stretched from North Africa across to Asia. Today, a small group of Asiatic lions still survives in India. The Bhubal hartebeest. The Bhubal hartebeest, 1907, first described in 1766, 1907, was a sand-colored antelope that once roamed the deserts of North Africa. When France colonized Algeria, entire herds were massacred. By the early 20th century, the species survived only in Algeria and Morocco. In 1917, a herd of 15 animals was discovered, but tragically, the man who found them killed 12. This photograph, taken at the Paris Zoo in 1923, is the last known image of the species. By 1925, the Bhubal hartebeest was gone forever. The Caribbean monk seal. The Caribbean monk seal, 19C, the only seal species native to the Gulf of Mexico, was once very common. They often gathered in groups of 30, though sometimes as many as 100 individuals. On land, they were slow-moving and naturally curious about people, which only made them easier to hunt. They were killed for their blubber, which was rendered into oil, as well as for their meat. By the 1850s, sightings of the species had already become rare. The very last confirmed sighting was off the coast of Colombia, and after that, the Caribbean monk seal disappeared forever. The golden toad. The golden toad, MA, found only in a small patch of rainforest in Costa Rica, was first discovered in 1966. Every breeding season, they would gather in enormous numbers. But within just a few years, from 1987 to 1989, their population plummeted, from hundreds down to a single surviving male. The causes are believed to have been a combination of severe drought and the chytrid fungus, which has devastated amphibian populations worldwide. The golden toad was officially declared extinct in 2004. The gastric brooding frogs. The gastric brooding frogs, 9, found only in a small region of Australia, were among the most unique amphibians ever known. What made them extraordinary was their ability to raise their young inside their stomachs. They were discovered in the 1970s, but within just a decade, they had vanished. The causes are believed to include the chytrid fungus, deforestation, and the introduction of invasive species. Today, a scientific project is attempting to bring them back through de-extinction technology. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.